we're progressing along the way. This next story is this or something better. Yeah, we see quite a few challenges occurring here with an executive who is stepping into her position, dealing with a big challenge. There's a merger, acquisitions, more demands coming at her department. She's striving, she's driving, she's trying to get it all done. Her teammates are complaining. They're saying this is too much to do. She's stepping in, she's problem solving with them. And then what happens? She gets slapped with an employee engagement survey. And the employees basically are saying, I'm not happy. We're not engaged because there's too much to do. Well, she'd been informing her boss about this problem. She had even asked for some help, a new employee, some additional resources. And she was told, no, we don't have the budget. So when this survey shows that her department had the worst scores, what happens? Her boss reacts to the situation. Now, this is a classic example of ego reaction because he goes into his grandiose ego, very much covering his own vulnerability, his own fear, his own self-doubt and his own judgments, because this company had gotten awards for years about being the best place to work. So now he's like, okay, how are we going to get that with these kind of scores? So instead of him being vulnerable and stepping in with curiosity, with this ego strength, what does he do? He covers it with this grandiosity and he begins to blame her. But she steps in with her ego strength. She's like, okay, you know what? I think I've been informing him all along on what's going on, but you know what? This or something better is going to come with this. So I'm going to just tell my story and see what happens. Now, talk about getting out of your fear, self-doubt, and judgment into a place of self-awareness and detachment from the outcome and like, hey, I want to be in the truth. I want to be in intuitive alignment. She got there, but it didn't happen overnight. At first, she was carrying the weight of all of this on her shoulders when she came to see me. But because she'd been meditating, because she'd been practicing these skills, she could get out pretty quickly. See, this isn't about never being in fear, self-doubt, and judgment. When we get a punch in the gut like that, and it's something important to us, oftentimes that will happen. But the key is to know, oh, I'm there. I recognize it. And I'm bringing this up to self-awareness, and I'm asking myself what to do about this so I can become detached and intuitively aligned. And she got into alignment with this or something better is coming my way. I'm gonna let go of the outcome and not be so afraid. So she just kept saying, how might we? You know, how might we deal with this problem? The real problem here is we have more work than resources. And I had her show proof of their conversations. Remember, I sent you this email. Here's how we're handling this. And remember this conversation, here's how I'm handling that. So here's all the possibilities I've seen we can do. How might we? And she has this collaborative conversation with him to show her willingness to engage in the collective consciousness of enlightenment. And in the meantime, she's like, this or something better. You know what? This might not work out. Maybe it'll work out. I don't know. But in the meantime, I'm going to look at my life and get on with it. So now she's sitting in this situation, still not sure what's going to happen at work with her boss. But she's like, you know what? I'm going to do another vision board. Let's see what I can create in my life. And she does this marvelous vision board. And you see her in full action, loving the outdoors, doing this activity, meeting these people, but staying with herself. Not feeling like I need to meet somebody, I need to make this connection. I'm no longer going to overgive. I'm going to see if this person meets me halfway right away. and she doesn't really feel it. And you see this progress of this or something better. I don't need to grapple onto anything. And as she's holding that mindset and not getting attached to it's got to be this business and not getting attached to I have to have a relationship, what happens? This or something better shows up. The CEO of the company, who her boss reports to, comes to her and says, listen, I've decided that I want to take this one division of the company and make it separate, and I'd like you to be the president. And so she has a collaborative conversation with him, knowing that the lesson she learned is that if she's going to step into any relationship with anyone, personally or professionally, she wants to know that we can have this collaborative conversation so that we're co-creating together, so that there really is diversity of ideas. There really is a feeling of equity. There really is a feeling of inclusion where we both belong. If I can feel that, the answer is yes. And so she goes a couple weeks with these conversations back and forth, and she feels that enlightened feeling. And she says yes to the job. Where in your life do you need to practice this trusting your gut that this or something better will occur, and paying attention to the dynamics to know if this is the kind of partnership, whether that's personally or professionally, that's going to get you there to this or something better?